Hey, I'm Spenser.
And I'm Britain.
Since 2011, Buckethead has released 313 albums in his Pike series, and we're going to listen to them.
3 at a time.
This is Getting Head.
That was all fucked. Welcome, guys, Buys and Jedis, those with thick thighs and those who like cream pies, those who fly, those who try, and Italians who make it a pizza pie. Italians with names like Fieri Kamagai, Italians who spy, Italians who die, Italians who like Sugar Ray's hit I Just Wanna Fly. Italians who live in a sty, Italians who live in Dubai, Italians who cry me a river about the past. It's episode 990 of Getting Head, a Bucketcast.
A Bucketcast.
Indeed.
Wow, that was beautiful, Brit. I love that. I can't believe we made it to 90.
Yeah, we've got,
that's wild.
At this point, only 15 more to go.
Wow. Wow,
as of a couple days ago, 15 more, because it was going to be 14 more, but
yeah, but then more pikes. They keep getting dropped. Okay, so 90. What do I got for 90? Not much. The most interesting thing I have about 90 is I-90, which is a continental highway in the United States that goes from Seattle to Boston. So
that is true. It spans the whole. I think it's the northmost coast to coast highway in the United States.
Yeah, coast to coast AM. You could listen to that on I-90 if you wanted to. Well, you drive from coast to coast.
Yeah, I mean, who does that show now? Because didn't Art Bell and George Noory died, right? Did George Noory die?
I don't know if George Noory died. I feel like Art Bell died, though.
Art Bell definitely died. I used to listen to so much of that shit.
I'm surprised you're less pilled than you should be.
I mean, I was pilled. No, I guess it's currently.
I mean, you were conserva-pilled, like.
Yeah, I was neocon pilled.
I don't feel like it was that did that to you, though. It was the Michael Savage.
Oh, it definitely. Well, but I mean, it was talk radio in general that really pilled me in so many words. Yeah.
That's true. Brit, it's so great to see you. This is the first time I have talked to you too. In quite some time, actually. If you listen to our most recent episode, you know that like some crazy shit is going on with me, and we recorded that episode.
That crazy. You're just moving to California for an internship, which is wild.
Well, okay, so yes, conceptually it's not insane, but like in practice, it has been pretty insane.
Well, yeah, I guess, but also like things get more insane without proper planning. So.
Well, that's true.
And it seems like you kind of didn't get a lot of time to plan because your employer didn't give you any time to plan.
No,
really. They were just
they literally...
okay, so you got to be down here this date, and here's no more information until like the week you leave.
Yes, that was exactly what happened. So basically, my employer, they told me pretty early on that like this was a thing that they were going to have me do. They told me about like a month in advance, and they're like, "Cool, you got to be here at this point." But they told me like no information about like where I was going, or
I think
like
they told you at like the beginning of May. I think like almost 2 months in advance.
Yeah. Oh no. I guess that could be true. I thought it was at the end of May, but yeah, I don't know. Either. Yeah, no, actually, you're right. But either way, they didn't tell me where I was going. They didn't tell me like anything. Just like nobody talked to me until the week before I left, and they're like, "Oh, hey, you got to be here. Here's all the information." I was like, "Okay." So it was really nuts. But I did the drive. I drove from Seattle to the Bay Area of California.
How was the drive?
The drive was long.
But it's a long drive.
But it was actually like a pretty nice drive, especially the second day. Like the first day was really boring because I was just driving on I-5.
Did you take Pacific Coast Highway? I mean, I-5 is what you want to take, but it's like it doesn't get cool until you're in California.
Correct. So what I did is I took I-5 all the way to the end of Oregon, and then I took a road that took me to the coast, and then I took Highway 101 all the way to the Bay.
Wait, is 101 the Pacific Coast Highway? Is that right?
No.
I thought I-5, yeah.
Well, so 101 is technically the Pacific Coast Highway. However, there's another highway that's Highway 1, which is like super tiny, and it goes on the coast.
That's the one I'm thinking of, yeah.
But Highway 1 only starts like once you're a few hours into California.
Which is weird.
It's weird.
They film like everything on that highway. Like everything. If you see someone like driving like along and there's like sea on the side, it's that highway.
Oh, it's definitely that highway. Yeah.
Always.
Well, here's the thing though, like the California part of the drive. So the second part of the drive, the first part of the drive, I drove from Seattle to Crescent City, California, which is like right at the tip of NorCal, at the tip of Northern California. And so that took me, maps quoted me about 8 hours of driving, but with traffic, it took me 11 and a half.
Yeah, especially after you get in California and also probably right on the border of Washington and Oregon. No? Really?
No. The worst traffic that I hit was in Washington. Once I got out of Washington, it was fine. It was fine. Did you get hit
with a fucked up guacamole dick situation?
Not this time. But yeah, it was basically what we experienced when we went to go to Steely Dan. It was just
that's what I'm talking about. We call that a guacamole dick.
A guacamole people penis situation. Yes. Yeah, I'm not going to name the artist who makes that song, but you can look it up. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I got hit with some weird traffic on the way down, and that was a whole thing. But the second part of the day, when we left from Crescent City, California, to just go to the Bay, that day was fantastic because we got to drive through the Redwoods. We stopped at a bunch of stuff. I drove through 2 trees.
One of those trees where you can that have a big hole through them. Those are sick.
I actually went to the most famous one in the world, which is called the Chandelier Tree in Leggett, California. I didn't know it was the most famous one when I drove there. We just saw a sign that said drive-through tree, and we'd already done a drive-through tree earlier in the day that was like, it was okay. It was kind of disappointing. But so we were like, should we do this one or not? And the person I was with was like, yeah, we should do it. And thank God they said we should do it because it was actually fantastic. It was super fun. The chandelier tree was really amazing. I highly recommend looking that up. Like once you see what it looks like, you'll be like, holy shit, it's a hell of a tree. It's a giant sequoia. I don't know. It's really cool. You can drive through it. It's neat. So did that. It was super cool. Got to California. I've been in California for a week now. Or not even a week. It's actually been like 5 days or something. But I've been working at Geek Squad Corporate. And that's been a hell of a
Password thing. University.
Password University, correct.
That's what we talked about. You're learning all the passwords at Password University.
Correct. Yeah, I'm working at a building that costs $6 billion to build. So that's pretty cool. That's actually not even a joke. That's true.
That's silly. That's silly.
It is.
Like, there's except for like some of the most highly tooled factories to ever exist. Like not even that. Like even like fucking Intel was building a new wafer factory, and it only cost them like a couple billion. Only a couple billion.
I'm pretty sure their wafer factories cost. Well, not the wafer factories. The they're like premium chip fab, the one that's in Israel, the new one that they just built. I thought that cost them like $100 billion or something insane.
$100 billion? That's insane.
I'm pretty sure.
I mean that one's cutting edge though. That one does like 8 like M or whatever fucking size chips.
Nanometer. It's 6 nanometer. I think is where they're at currently. Yeah, but they're going to be doing stuff at 4 nanometers soon, which is exciting. Wow. Yeah, Apple's currently building chips at 4 nanometers, which is crazy.
Really? Wait, is the M1 and 4 nanometer chip? No shit, I didn't. Interesting. Is that why?
As far as I know, I'm pretty. It's either 4 or 6. I'm pretty sure it's 4 because at the time that they put out the M1, I'm pretty sure it was like the most advanced chip on the market, or on the consumer market.
It kind of is, but that's largely because of its ARM architecture and the way it
we
interacts
love
with,
ARM.
especially
We
with
love
they're fucking, that shit's, I mean, we love ARM in that context. Like, adjustable rate mortgages is what caused the financial collapse that fucking fucked all millennials. But
we don't love that. We don't love that.
No, we don't love those ARMs, especially when you package them.
Speaking of mortgages, I was actually just looking up the median home price of the area that I'm staying in currently. I know. So I was hanging out with my friend, and she was like, oh, up in Seattle, like, you can buy a house for like $500K. And I was like, no, you can't. And then she was like, are you sure?
Not
I was like,
I'm
sure.
Nowhere in Seattle can you buy a single family home for that amount of money. You can't buy land in Seattle to build a single family home.
And so we looked. Yeah, so we looked it up, and sure enough, the median home price in Seattle is $850,000. And so I was like, yeah, cool. And she was like, I wonder what it is around here. And I was like, I don't know, maybe 1.5 million. And she was like, oh, that sounds crazy. I was like, it's probably even more than that. So we looked it up. The median home price for Santa Clara Valley is $3 million.
Yeah, quadruple almost. That's insane.
That's
insane.
Pretty good.
Insane. Jesus Christ.
I know. It's crazy. I mean, that being said, though, like, being in California has actually been all right. Like, California's pretty nice. Like, the weather here is really nice. Yeah. Like, it feels really good. Like,
I fucking love the weather in California. It's the best.
The weather here is fucking fantastic. It is, like,
it's always
super
sunny.
So yeah, it is. But no, like, it's like between I don't know, 78 and 90 degrees during the day, and then in the evening it's like 65. It's fucking fantastic. It is like the most ideal weather I think I've ever been in. It's actually really nice.
It gets more ideal like in LA because it's like 10 degrees hotter at all times, and I prefer that. I like the 80, 90, 100 degree weather. It's not muggy enough for me. I prefer like New Orleans, but it's still
New Orleans. Yeah,
still good stuff. Well, that's
good stuff.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Good to hear about your journey. Good to hear it's going swell.
Speaking of like cool journeys and things going swell, is it time for goth news?
I think it's time to take a journey into the goth news.
Beneath the waning moon, it's goth news. Goth news for cool dudes.
This week in goth news, according to an article in Nylon magazine, goth weddings are the next big bridal trend. According to the article, quote, shut up. According to the article, quote,
okay.
Although an old-fashioned idea, the color black was long considered taboo to even wear to a wedding as a guest, let alone for a bride. But as of recent, the interest in goth weddings has been on the rise. This year in particular, Kourtney Kardashian and Travis Barker reignited a new curiosity in unconventional wedding aesthetics with their darkly romantic-themed engagement, photo shoots, and 2 practice weddings leading up to their goth glam May 22nd, 2022 nuptials in Italy.
Wow.
So,
wait,
I have an RS...
Did they wear black when they got married?
Yeah. I have an RSS feed set up for any news article out of several thousand news sites that Google sources from to just give me an update whenever there's a news article with the word goth in it. And I swear
that's how we're getting this. Okay.
I swear to fucking God, every single week, like a third of the articles that have the word goth in them are about Kourtney Kardashian. And or one of the Kardashians, and it makes me want to.
Yeah,
I
still don't really know who those people are. To be completely honest, like
it's a long explanation, but basically, they first got famous.
I know who their dad is because I've watched
Robert
American
Kardashian.
Crime Story season 1.
So that happened, and
David Schwimmer is their dad.
Yeah, and then Caitlyn Jenner, before they transitioned, then married the mom after that, and then they got a reality show after Kim Kardashian got really big because she had a sex tape with Ray J.
Ray J?
Rage, the guy who does Raycon earbuds that you hear about on like every single YouTube channel and podcast.
Every single YouTube channel,
every single one. Mm-hmm. It's either that or Squarespace or fucking Crusader Kings or fucking
ExpressVPN.
Oh yeah, fucking what's the other online game?
It's like Mobile Legends or something.
Yeah, Mobile Legends and Clash of Civilization, some shit. I don't care. Anyway. So, fuck my RSS feed with goth news. I hate it. This week in goth obituaries, we say goodbye to goth businessman Leonardo Del Vecchio, Italian eyewear industry executive and founder of Luxottica. Oh. Luxottica is best known as a conglomerate of eyewear brands who have taken over the majority of major glasses frames makers in the world and fixed the price of glasses in most of the first world. So fuck you, Leonardo. Rest in piss. You made it prohibitively expensive for people to see. Enjoy hell.
Fuck off.
And finally in goth news, this week, goth and pizza patriarch Papa John Schnatter was vacationing in Ocean City, New Jersey, and was pictured taking a ride on the boardwalk there on a bike. He also posted a picture on Instagram of himself saying, "Speak the truth," with a caption reading, quote, "Sometimes it's not that easy, but if you have an opinion, or if you aren't being treated fairly, or you see something happening that you know isn't okay, it's your right and your obligation to open your mouth." Someone once said, "Never worry about who will be affected if you speak the truth. Worry about who will be misled, deceived, and destroyed if you don't." Unfortunately, in today's world, too many are misled and destroyed by silence, unquote.
Wow.
Schnatter stepped down as CEO of Papa John's in 2018 after being unsilent and speaking his truth,
which is
wherein he blamed declining sales on football players protesting the treatment of black people in America, causing their stock to fall 30%. He then used the N-word during a conference call. Goth
news, cool news. Wow.
Oh boy.
That was great. That was good. Oh my God. I have more to talk about.
Okay.
So
before you do, I'm gonna take a brief aside here.
Please.
So I was in the store today actually, and I wrote this note because I have to talk about this.
Okay.
I was trying to exit, right? And there was they have the big sliding doors, right?
Wait, where were you?
QFC, grocery store.
Quality Food Center.
Yes. And this like dad and his two kids were coming in, right?
Uh-huh.
And there was one kid in a wheelchair.
Uh-huh.
But I think this kid had just gotten the wheelchair because he kept on running into everything and everybody. And it was like, I wanted to like not laugh, but I started to laugh because he just sucked so much at having a wheelchair. And he almost ran into me, and then he ran into the guy next to me, and he's like, "Sorry." And then he like starts moving again and runs into the very next guy, and he's like, "Sorry." And I'm like, that kid sucks at his wheelchair. Like,
way to go, crippled kid.
I just like something inside me wanted to look at him and so bad and say, "First day driving a wheelchair, huh?" or something like that.
Yeah.
But I'm like, no, that's an evil thought. Don't think those things, Britton. You're a decent person. Have some decency. So I didn't say it, and that was the decent thing I did today.
You know what? I'm proud of you.
Yeah, me too. What do you got?
It would have been funnier though if you had just been like, "Ha ha, wheelchair kid."
Sorry, I don't know how to drive this thing.
We'll get it together. You're not getting any younger, kid.
Learn how to drive, kid.
You should have slapped a student driver sticker on the back of his wheelchair.
Yeah.
Please be patient. I'm new at this. Oh, Jesus. That's pretty good. Well, okay. I've been dealing with, like, I'm in this hotel, right? So, like, my company has put me up in this hotel for a little while before they moved me into an apartment. I move into the apartment on Tuesday, But the hotel has been fine, but the internet has been terrible. And so I've been struggling with that.
And they don't have like better internet for purchase?
Yeah, they do, but like I don't want to pay for it, and in order to like get my company to pay for it, I'd have to send so many emails. I just don't want to deal with it. So yeah, I'm kind of choosing not to deal with it, to be honest.
Yeah,
but
you are.
That set off a chain of events that what time is it? It's 8:07 p.m. here, and I know the big time difference between Seattle and California. Yep. So it's 8:07. We were supposed to start recording this at 6. We didn't start until like 7:50. The reason
to be fair, you didn't start until 7:50. I was ready to go.
You were ready to go. No, I haven't had a whole lot of time because I've been like not only dealing with like work stuff, but also like hotel stuff and like I don't know. It's been a time. I haven't had a lot of time.
You got the hemorrhoids again, Spenser?
I got that butt stuff happening again. You know,
got the butt stuff. I mean, this is the bad kind of butt stuff.
The bad.
There's a kind of butt stuff you talk about with your partner. Yeah. Good butt stuff. Kind of butt stuff you talk about with your doctor. Bad butt stuff.
No, you never want to admit to the doctor what you've been putting up there. So okay. So I have this when I decided to come down here. Now, typically, like we do everything through my iMac that I run everything through. But I didn't bring my iMac with me because who the fuck wants to bring an iMac like down the coast to California? That seems insane. But I did bring my gaming PC and a monitor.
So what? So it's like the same size. Why? It's just as unreasonable.
But here's the thing: the gaming PC, so much more utility there. Like, you know, it can.
Oh yeah, because you can game. Yeah, but also there's a lot of utility in your iMac because it's completely set up to do the podcast.
Okay, so here's the thing about that. So work was supposed to give me a laptop, a MacBook that I was going to use to do this. And I actually like made a fresh backup on a new drive and like everything ready to go because I was just going to restore the laptop from my backup and then be all up and going right away. That being said, that didn't happen. They gave me an iMac, and the iMac they gave me an iMac, but the iMac's at the $6 billion building, so it's like, you know, it's a whole thing. They'll give me a laptop eventually. I'm not worried about that, but for right now, I was like, okay, I got to get things up and going on this gaming PC. That's fine, sure, whatever. Though here's the thing: I need a few things in order to make that happen. I need a DAW, a digital audio workstation. I need Zoom, and then hopefully Streamlabs. Now, Streamlabs I wasn't able to get up and going because of the shitty hotel internet, but I was able to pirate a copy of Ableton Live, and I was able to download Zoom, even though, like I texted you, it took me a half an hour to download the Zoom installer. Which
is only a couple hundred megabytes.
Yeah, it was like 219 megabytes or something, which was like fucking insane. I actually can't believe that we're on video chat right now. I have no idea how this is working. But so, okay, this is how it started out. I was like, okay, cool. I'm just going to download Ableton Live. That should go pretty quick, right? Well, it didn't. It took forever. But then it downloaded and I installed it and it worked. And I was like, cool, we're good. Download Zoom, get it going. But then, so I go... okay, I haven't used audio devices with Windows in a long time. I will admit that. It's been a while, but I have done it before. It's not that hard. I downloaded ASIO for all because that's the one that everybody uses, and I like downloaded that, got that ready to go. I was like, I know how to do this. This is fine. Well, by default, when using the Windows drivers, the Windows default audio drivers, do you know what the latency was? You want to take a guess? So like typically latency like on my iMac is around 5 to 9 milliseconds, right?
Yep.
Do you know what the latency was on the Windows default drivers?
No. How
8,000 milliseconds.
Isn't that 8 seconds?
Yes. It is 8 fucking seconds, bro. Cool. It was insane. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, what the fuck is happening? And so, like, not only was the latency that bad, but it was like you talk and it's like, it's like all like distorted and fucked up sounding, and I'm like, the fuck is happening, Windows? So like I download ISO for all, like install that, and like that just works instantly. Cool, 5 millisecond latency, perfect. But here's the problem: ASIO for all is only compatible with one audio device at a time, which I discovered when I tried to open Zoom. So when I open Zoom, it's like, yo, we can't see your audio device. And I'm like, why the fuck can't you see my audio device? Well, a little bit of Googling later, I realized like ASIO for all will only work with one audio device at a time. So it's like, so it'll work with the default drivers and, be normal, but it won't work with the low latency driver. And it's just like a fucking nightmare. And then like, I was trying to like email the Zoom link to myself because I can't open iMessage on this PC, obviously. And my email stopped working. Like I couldn't get it to like send the email to myself. And I was having a moment. It was bad. I was getting so pissed. I was like screaming in this. Oh, I wasn't screaming, but I was yelling. I was like, what the fuck? The fuck? Windows, Bill Gates, and your fucking tiny penis. Fuck you. And I got all like mad, I don't know.
Bill Gates obviously has a tiny penis. Like I feel like most super rich guys, almost all of them have really tiny peni.
Yeah, I would say that's probably generally the case. Yeah. You hate to see it. I mean, I don't know. Would it be better if the rich guys had monster hogs or worse? I actually don't know.
Well, I mean, if they had monster hogs, then they wouldn't have like the drive to like fucking step all over people to become rich because they'd just be out there like fucking with their monster hogs, and they'd be happy with that,
So that's probably so. By that logic, Elon Musk probably has like a micro penis, right?
Oh, yeah. No, it's not a micro penis because he doesn't even have like a medical excuse or anything. He's just like it's just not a very big dick, and it's really soft. He's just a soft dick motherfucker.
He is a soft dick motherfucker.
He
makes soft dick decisions. Yeah,
very soft dick decisions.
Yeah. You hate to see soft dick decision making. It's never good.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, you really do hate to see that.
Speaking of things I hate to see, I think it's time for a bucket fact.
Why do you hate to see that? That's not cool at all.
Bucket fact, 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 bucket fact.
So I think last week we listened to Thoracic Spine Collapser.
Correct.
One of a Buckethead pike that kind of gave us what we think is a clearer view into some of his health problems, because he discusses like certain vertebrae and stuff as track titles, and we know that in the past he has had problems with his back.
That is correct.
So I was just curious if I could find out more about Buckethead's health problems online, without going into his medical records or anything.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
Which I could probably find, knowing me. But.
Ooh. Humble brag.
So he's humble brag. I'm creepy. I can find information.
Yeah. Nice.
So he did discuss on the Coming Alive podcast basically all of his health conditions, but he said he just kind of brushed off the back thing with saying, I've had back problems in the past. But he did get a little bit more into his heart condition, saying, quote, saying in a response to the question, what is the hardest thing you've ever gone through? He said, well, really, quote, well, really recently, I have a heart problem where my heart beats out of rhythm. It's been doing it for a long time, but recently it just kicked up into a really intense, I really didn't know what was going on. I just tried to deal with it and let it do what it did, and then eventually it would stop. But it got really intense, so I went to the doctor, and they said, oh, you're on the verge of having a stroke. I'm like,
oh, shit.
Oh, because I felt so good prior to having it. I was doing pretty well and everything. He goes on to explain that he had a cardiac ablation, a procedure used to treat atrial fibrillation, and now takes medication for it.
Isn't that where they like freeze part of your heart or something?
I don't know, to be honest. I didn't look too much into that.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, the medication and the procedure has not fully resolved its troubles. Saying, quote, "I had that procedure and it didn't really stop it, and I'm still dealing with it. It's been really difficult because it's scary, and it comes on. Even walking across a room is difficult."
That really sucks.
The heavy experience, as Bucket puts it, has also pushed him to take advantage of his time. He says, quote, "Now I'm like, well, I better do all the things I want to do. The day after I had that procedure, I recorded a record with my friend. I just lied in bed and recorded it. I just felt like I'm here still. I don't want to sit around and mope." Which people have talked about, like, what pike this must be, and it's one of the ones I think in the 100s there.
Interesting.
Because people went back in time, and it was something that happened, I think, sometime in 2017. So it was actually kind of one of the more recent-ish ones. But we feel bad for Bucket and hope he's well.
Yeah.
Love you, Bucket.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Bucket Facts.
We
listen
to
3 more pikes this week. Pike 268, 269, nice, and Pike 270. Sonar Rainbow, Decaying Parchment, and A3, respectively.
Wow. Pike 268.
Pike 268, Sonar Rainbow, released on July 20th, 2017, just 5 days after thoracic spine collapser. 5
days. Wow.
5 days. Yeah, he kind of ramps it up again here because there was a time where he just wasn't doing a whole lot, but now he's back to it. So it's the album's split up into 4 different songs, and the majority of the album, or maybe a plurality of it, it's like maybe 40% of the album is the first track, Sonar Rainbow.
Yeah.
And this track rocks. I really liked it.
It's like a melodic soloing thing with like a bunch of wah pedal and stuff.
Yeah. And it's very Buckethead, but it's like very well produced. It has really cool leads, beautiful solos, really good production. The drums sound great. Chordal bass parts. Like the bass is still going hard here. I don't know if this is Dan Monty playing or not, but honestly, like the bass for the past like maybe 4 pikes has been awesome.
It's been much more solid than is typical.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's really fun. So the first track is great. That's like almost half the album.
Well, I mean, it's 10 minutes. It's about 10 minutes long. It's about a third of it.
Yeah. I was gonna say it's like a third to like to a half of the album. It's a big long track. The rest of them are less prominent.
But the second song is like almost kind of nu metal-y, which I think is fun. It's like super down-tuned guitar.
It's almost like, I'd say more like Black Label Society type stuff. It's like it's super down-tuned, and there's like a lot of really like groovy riffs and like groovy down-tuned riffs, some 6 staccato stuff, which made it kind of not very like nu metal-y, like the almost like death metal-y stuff here and there, and then like a crazy solo, which you never hear a lot of great guitar solos in nu metal. Why?
You really don't. I mean, nu metal is basically the genre of the anti-guitar solo. You know,
it kind of is, yeah.
Because, like, I mean, okay, let's be real here. Tom Morello, very influential to nu metal. One of the first nu metal bands, Rage Against the Machine. I will stand by that. Rage Against the Machine is a nu metal band. One of
Clawfinger predates them by quite a bit.
We don't talk about Clawfinger here. We don't want to get kicked off the internet.
We're just mentioning a band name, Spenser. It's just a word, Spenser.
You know what? If you're listening to this, type Clawfinger into YouTube. Play that live video where they're playing their biggest song. In like, what was that?
They only have one song you ever need to know about. 2015 or 2017, I think.
Yeah, I think it's 2015. Yeah, there's like a live video of them playing the song,
And it's, we have watched it together no less than half a dozen times, Spenser.
I think it's honestly probably closer to a dozen times. But yeah, we've watched it together a lot of times, and it is amazing.
It is, in my opinion, one of the funniest things to ever exist. And it's it is effortlessly funny. Effortlessly funny.
Dude,
like,
just the
these guys are not trying to be funny at all.
No.
But yeah, I want a cam on just that guy the entire concert.
The keyboard is
so
just the funniest
funny.
guy. Yeah, for sure.
He's so great. But anyway,
yeah, I was just gonna say, like, Tom Morello, right? Super influential to nu metal. Is just like a notable guy for being like, I don't need to do a guitar solo. I'm just gonna make weird sounds with my guitar. And then I feel like a lot of the nu metal guys
that is his solo though. So,
but like the thing is like the nu metal guys, I feel like took the wrong thing from that, which is like, instead of being like, oh, you don't need to do a guitar solo to be creative and interesting with the instrument, they were like, oh, I don't need to be good at guitar. And then that kind of set up popular music for some dark times, I feel like. That isn't me saying nu metal is bad. It's not. I think nu metal is good and important, but it's, I feel like a lot of bands took the wrong thing from that.
At the same time, like, I feel like not being that good at guitar made some things what they are, and like iconically so. Like,
true.
I would argue that Static X, they're on Wisconsin Death Trip, the guitar parts are actually kind of bad, but they fit incredibly well. They're very rhythmic. It's just like there are no leads really at all on that album. It's just a bunch of rhythm guitar.
I wouldn't call the guitar playing on that album bad, but I would call it extremely like stripped down. Like it's stripped down. It's simple.
They're only playing like industrial guitar parts in a metal band, which is interesting.
It is interesting. Yeah. Totally.
Yeah, and I love that album. I
it's
stand
amazing.
The shit out of that album.
I stand the shit out of that album.
But it's
too.
like
it's
honestly, to me, it sounds more like an electronic album than it does a nu metal album.
You're using the guitar as like a synthesizer or like an atmospheric instrument, less than like a riffing instrument, less than like a melodic lead instrument. You know what I mean? Which is it's a cool take. It's cool. It's fun.
I really like their shit.
Yeah, totally. Me too.
But also, I really like this shit. Track 3, Debris, kind of sounds like a Primus song. It's like just super weird.
Yeah, it really does.
Really like it.
Yeah.
I just wrote short, weird, sounds like Primus.
Okay, I got a question.
Yeah.
So, like, what is the most uncomfortable time to listen to Buckethead? And we've already talked about having sex to Buckethead, and disregarding sex. What is the most uncomfortable time to listen to Buckethead?
On your phone in a public restroom stall.
Like just playing it over the phone speakers?
Yeah.
That's perfect. That's good.
And so like you walk into a restroom and you just like hear solo guitar music playing, like, but you can't tell where it's coming from because it's a tile restroom and it's reverberating all over the place. And so you just hear this weird tinny guitar solo and you're like, is someone listening to like avant-garde guitar music? What the fuck is going on? Well, taking a shit, but like you're in there masturbating instead.
There you go. Yeah. You're masturbating to the smell of other people taking shits. Right?
Absolutely. Well, yeah, that's why you go into public restrooms.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, that's why I go into public restrooms. I don't know about you.
So leads me to my question. What's the funkiest dump you've ever jerked off to?
Probably that time that I was sleeping in my van outside of your current apartment, but when your brother was living there, and I ended up having like, okay, so God, I guess I got to add some context here. So I was living in my van for a while. Long story short, and I was staying outside of where you currently live, because I had been staying with your brother there when he lived there for a little while, and I was sleeping in my van. Turns out I ate something bad and got some gnarly diarrhea, and it was real bad. And I was in a van at the time, so I just it was like a rainstorm. It was like pouring down rain, so I just like got outside and just like took a shit on the ground, and then like got back in my van and like, I don't know, jerked off.
That's pretty cool, dude.
Like not like immediately after, but like, a little while later. Yeah.
Now while it was still fresh in your mind, you just jerked off to the memory.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. As you do.
As
okay.
you do.
So I gotta talk about one other thing. So one thing that I noticed is like when you're looking up these albums, or like I listen to these albums on YouTube, right? When you're looking up the albums on YouTube, if you type Pike whatever into YouTube, come up with the album. But if you misspell Pike, if you type Puke into YouTube, the very first suggestion that it gives you is Puke Eminem, which I just think is interesting,
Like Eminem the rapper, or
Eminem the rapper, yeah. Puke.
Eminem, like mom spaghetti.
Mom spaghetti, yeah.
Vomit on his sweater already.
Yeah.
Puke on his sweater already. Mom spaghetti.
It's vomit on his sweater already.
Puke on his dick already.
Mom
spaghetti.
Do you remember when we found like an image of a couple? Okay. Do you remember back in the day, we were playing in a band. Some members of that band lived in a house, not us. We were hanging out there a lot. And the members of the band that lived in that house, they found a picture. It was like a printed out picture of like a couple. It was like a girl and a guy. And we invented like a whole backstory for them.
I do remember that. Yeah, we just get really high and talk about them. I think I want to say I found the picture. It was in this weird place in the garage that was accessible from Justin's room or something.
I feel like that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, something it was, and there was like this weird like loft area that you could access from there. And I went up into that loft area, and I was just like, "Hey, there's a fucking picture of some people." And then we all got really fucking high and just like made up a backstory for them.
But the story that we made up was that like they ended up breaking up because she puked on his dick.
She puked on his dick.
And
I remember she puked
like
on his dick. And we just talk about, we just reference it all the time, like and just being like, "Dude, she puked on his dick," and then we'd all have a laugh.
Yeah.
I do. That was great. That was a great running joke for a while.
It was. Just a funny thing to think about. Pike 269.
Decaying Parchment. Wait, is that? Yes. Decaying Parchment released on August 11th, 2017, 22 days after Sonar Rainbow.
Hell yeah. Favorite Pike this week?
This Pike fucked hard, dude.
Really good.
It's 6 tracks, and it's all kinds of stuff.
It is.
Like it has one of, in my opinion, the best metal songs on any Pike.
Ooh,
and it's also got some like, you know which one it is. Track 3.
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah, track 3. Dude. Track 3 is super good.
It also, there's also some just great melodies on there. And then the last song is a really cool, almost like free jazz guitar thing.
Yeah.
I don't even, there's a lot of cool shit going on.
Weird and super.
So let's.
Wild.
Yeah. Let's go through this one a little bit. So the first song is, and it's just like a super beautiful alt metal song. It's like, It's just like different from his other alt metal. Like it's not just a whole bunch of like chords and stuff. There's a lot more riffs and like leads and stuff. It's a sick track. It was my favorite track of the week until track 3.
Yeah, track 3 is super good. But track 2 is super good too. Track 2 is
Track 2 is like super dynamic. It starts off pretty soft and then gets progressively harder and harder as the song goes along. And the bass is really cool on this song. There's a ton of chords, like backing riffs and like really cool rhythms and stuff. Really liked it. Then there's a really cool fucking finger-picked clean guitar part that I fucking loved. And then he just does a monster solo for the rest of the song.
Monster hog solo.
And then we get to track 3, Wings of a Dead Moth.
Wild song.
What'd you like about this one?
Well, it starts off like super like metal and like riffy, and then it gets into like weird circus music, and then
I wrote my line here is just like super chug thrash with circus interludes.
Yes, exactly. No, it's like,
and it's super playful, super fun, very Buckethead.
Very
I loved
Buckethead.
It.
No, it reminded me of like Buckethead meets Mr. Bungle kind of vibes.
Yeah, very bungly.
Yeah,
very bungly.
Super
big bungle
cool
energy.
though. Like a genuinely cool song. Like especially in the context of this album, which is a kind of a diverse album, and it really like shows what he can do in a lot of different ways, and it's a really creative and cool album. I think it's definitely the highlight of the week.
Yeah,
the last song too, though, is like
Decaying Parchment. Yeah, the titular song is really cool. I really liked tracks 4 and 5, Pillar and Twister. Both of them had really cool string skipping riffs. They just showed off like stuff where like, I mean, if you're not a guitarist, you don't know how difficult string skipping is. But in my opinion, it's one of the most difficult things to master on guitar, especially like the skips that Buckethead takes are like 3 string skips oftentimes, and like picking like that, especially doing alternate picking and doing that, is just insane.
Yeah,
he's so good at it.
Yeah. I mean,
like,
he's probably doing
Buckethead,
economy picking, which is like where you get to eventually the longer you do it.
Yeah. At the same time, like he does a lot of crazy stuff in just alternate picking, and you can hear it because you can like hear the picking of every single note, which is
very impressive. Oh, man. It's very impressive. Yeah, no, for sure. It's super sick. Super sick.
Yeah.
Okay, so
very good album. Yeah.
Speaking of 69, I have 2 questions about 69s.
Okay.
Firstly, what is the weirdest place to attempt a 69 with someone?
In a what do you call those?
Old folks.
A coupe. No, like a car that only has 2 front seats.
Yeah,
like a coupe.
A coupe. Yeah.
No.
A secret coupe.
Not like a hatchback coupe.
Getting Head's secret coupe.
No, it'd be cool to 69 in a chicken coop. That'd be sick as fuck.
They're pretty stinky and also small.
Like a clean one, like Buckethead had in his studio.
Okay. Well, we don't know if it was
recording Chinese Democracy.
We don't know if it was clean.
Buckethead's a clean boy. It was definitely clean.
I believe it. Okay. What about Butthole 69?
I've definitely like eaten a butthole while getting my dick sucked before. Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. No. But like, what if you're both eating butthole? Like you're licking a butthole, your partner's also licking your butthole. It's just your butthole 69.
I might have done that before. I mean, it's definitely physically possible.
It's definitely physically possible. So like, I looked it up. Been thinking about it a lot lately, and so I looked it up online. I cannot find any videos of people doing it, which is crazy to me.
Especially if you're like about the same height. Like, yeah, that's totally a doable thing, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
Yeah.
But it's not that much farther from whatever other genitals are going on there.
Yeah. Whatever other genitals.
You can quote me when I say it's never too much farther to the butthole.
Yeah, I'll definitely quote you at some point saying that. All these people needing quotes about buttholes, like they're just going to turn to you, Brit.
So I've got a question about Decaying Parchment here.
Yeah.
Speaking of Decaying Parchment, what is the oldest book that you own, or the book that you've had in your life for the longest?
Oh wow, that's heavy. The oldest book that I own is probably what the fuck is that book called? I have a book from the 1800s that it's like it's a novel, but it's written about like a dude that existed during like Jesus times, and I forget the name of the book. It starts with an M, and it's like a really weird, like long title. But that's the one that I have that's probably the oldest, and like I just like found it in a house at one point that like my friend was living at, and I was like, "Can I have this?" And they're like, "Yeah, sure." So I have that. But the book that I've owned the longest, oh my goodness, that is probably The Keys of Enoch. I gotta look it up. That book is so wild. It's so wild. Keys of Enoch. There it is, right here by J.J. Hurtak. It's called The Book of Knowledge, The Keys of Enoch. I bought this when I was maybe like 16 or something. Unfortunately, like a lot of the books that I had when I was like a kid, like I don't have anymore. So This is one that I have from the period of time in which I was super into like conspiracy theories and shit. When I was like basically like 16 to 19, I was really into conspiracies. I was reading a lot of books about like psychedelics and shit, and just like being a weirdo. But anyways, the Keys of Enoch is a fucking insane book. It's so crazy. It's like this dude who was like a
wait.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry to interrupt there. You still have this book?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Is it in hardcover?
Oh yeah.
It's worth a lot of money, dude.
I know it's worth a lot of money. Yeah.
Yeah, it's worth at least like $300, even in bad condition.
I know. I got a copy of it from Tidal Wave in Anchorage, Alaska for like $15.
Wow.
Yeah.
Damn.
Mine's a little messed up because I've had it for a long time and it's like kind of dinged up. But it is a fucking insane book. Like it is. So it's written like the Bible. Like the way it is written, like the cadence of like the narrative and whatnot is very much like the Bible, in which but it's like
that sounds terrible.
But it's like Revelations. So it's like insane rambling of like a mad God, basically.
The Bible is the worst, one of the worst books ever written.
Oh, it's terrible.
It's so bad.
So it's
a mess.
So this book is like that, but it's just this dude who is like a physicist or something, and then he like did a bunch of acid in the 70s and then broke his brain and then wrote this insane like fucking like just psychotic break of a book. And it's insane. I've never read all of it. I've read pieces of it here and there. I've used bits of it for like lyric inspiration for like metal stuff, and it is just so weird and stupid and bad, and like also just crazy. There's some really wild art in it too. Like the art's really crazy. It's got full color art in it too. It's like it's a really nice printing. Like it's like
that's cool.
It's in hardcover and it's like gold embossed and it's got like color printing and stuff. But it's a very long book and it's very weird. And that book fucking rocks. It's wild.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that book rocks. Wouldn't recommend it. Don't read it.
No, I'm pretty sure it's like super anti-Semitic. I'm actually not sure.
It has to be. The Keys of Enoch is like that is automatically an anti-Semitic book. It's like that sounds like a sequel to The Secrets of the Elders of Zion. Like,
okay,
come on.
So let me read some excerpts from the website, the official website for this, the J.J. Hurtak's fucking website. Okay. Okay. So here it is. The Book of Knowledge, The Keys of Enoch, was the first book to point out the alignment between the Great Pyramid and the constellation of Orion. It is also the first book to show the direct relationship between DNA coding and the divine name. Additionally, the keys describe the divine genetic code within the human body that will prepare humankind for new vistas of life within the surrounding higher evolution, using aspects of the identical central genetic light information for transformation into bodies of light. It's insane.
That sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
It doesn't look like, I can't find anything about it being anti-Semitic. It just sounds anti-Semitic.
Yeah, it just sounds like it. So I don't know.
Yeah,
but yeah, that's what I got.
Pretty cool.
Pretty cool.
Pretty cool.
Speaking
All right, moving on. Pike 270, A3, released on August 13th, 2017, 2 days after Decaying Parchment.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
this is an ambient album.
This is an ambient album, but it's a pretty good Buckethead ambient album. Like, this is better than any of the fucking 31 Days of Halloween. The first track, especially.
It's not better than any of them. There's that one.
There was that one metal one.
Yeah, the one metal one's really good.
One metal one, and then I think the very last one was all right too.
The swamp one, what's it called? Like Into the Swamp.
So the first track especially is a really cool, like well structured, but kind of at times freeform ambient guitar track. I really liked it.
Mm-hmm.
Second track I didn't like quite as much. It went a little more sound, Halloween soundtracky with some synths and stuff, but like. This is more of what I want to hear when I, want to listen to Buckethead ambient, which is, rare to never. But
yeah, ain't that the truth?
But this was great.
Yeah.
This was, I mean, it wasn't great. It was the weakest pike this week, but it was still a decent pike.
Yeah, it was solid.
At least
like,
average.
So the one thing I'll say about this is like, yeah, it's an ambient album. Yeah, it's kind of a noise album. Yeah, it's kind of directionless, but it does create a good ambience in the sense that like while listening to it, I basically forgot it was on, and then I was like, oh, it's already over. Oh, that was okay. Well, that was good, I guess. It was like that kind of an experience, which tells me that like he's doing something right. Like if he's like making ambience that just sinks into whatever ambience is around me already, like he's doing a pretty good job at creating something ambient. So I got to give him credit there, at the very least.
Yeah. It was for a Buckethead ambient album. Like if you like Buckethead ambient stuff, this is gonna be one of the best.
Yes.
This is pretty cool.
Pretty
unless
cool.
you're like more into like the Death Cube case type stuff, but if you want primarily just like clean guitar doing stuff, it's a good place to start.
Yeah.
Good place to start.
Yeah.
What does A3 stand for?
It's a sequel to A24.
Oh, sequel to that company.
Sequel to that company, yes. The A24 production company, A3, is where they're headed. You know.
No,
I don't know. A3 is a size of paper. I know that.
That's true.
A3,
So is A1
and
A2.
Yeah. Those are primarily used in Europe, not necessarily America, but you know, whatever. It's weird that Europe has different sizes of paper. Like, what the fuck? Why?
It is. You can print most 8.5 by 11 stuff on A1 though, because I want to say it's like
or A4. No. Yeah.
Something like that.
It's one of the A's. One of the A's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't care.
No, we don't.
I hope I never have to work in an office with paper.
Oh my god, paper sucks, dude. I hate it.
Paper is dumb and for idiots.
I agree.
Yeah,
that is
fuck paper.
Yeah, that is one thing I'm grateful about with the current job that I'm doing. There's not a single bit of paper involved at all.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty nice in that sense. Pretty nice.
Yep.
Fuck some paper.
The only paper I want is a rolling papers, baby.
Blasting some renewal scrolls, my dude.
That's the other podcast, Spence.
Yeah.
Don't get it twisted.
Renewal scrolls, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Indeed. Renewal scrolls.
All right.
Yeah, I guess that's been the pikes this week.
The pikes. If you had to fight to the death a member of a 90s band, who would you pick?
What? Like, I mean, what do you mean 90s band?
A band
like,
that was formed.
They got big in the 90s?
A band that was formed in the 90s.
Formed in the 90s.
Yeah.
Huh. I had to fight anyone, and they have to be alive right now. Yeah.
Yeah, they do.
None of the members of Red Hot Chili Peppers started new bands in the 90s. So this is
that's
really
not true. That's not true. What's his name? Guitar player guy went solo.
Dave Navarro.
No, not Dave Navarro.
That's not a band, Spencer.
No. Well, it is a band because he started a band and made an album. John Frusciante.
No, well, yeah, but he started a solo project and made an album, not a band.
Okay, all right. Let's simplify the question. A band that was big in the 90s. The member.
Oh,
of the
that's
band
a lot easier.
Yeah, a lot easier. I say the dude from Dinosaur Jr. Fuck that guy.
Jay Mascus?
Yeah.
Jay Mascus would beat the shit out of you, dude.
No, he wouldn't. He's a pussy.
Yeah, he would. I would definitely fucking rumble with Anthony Kiedis. I would love to beat his face in.
Cool.
I think about fighting each of the Red Hot Chili Peppers individually all the time. I don't really want to fight Chad Smith. I think he's a pretty big guy. Yeah, I'd beat Flea.
Really?
Yeah.
Flea's got
Flea's a tiny guy. He's wiry.
He's got some solid bass lines though, and he's like kind of muscly. Like he looks really strong.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. He's wiry, but he's still a pretty small guy.
Yeah.
Like no one in that band is like bigger than like 5'10", except for maybe the drummer.
Who do you think would?
Like they're tiny dudes.
All right, hold on. Who do you think would win in a fight? And I'm saying this because I feel like both of these dudes look very similar. That's the only reason I'm pairing them. But Flea and Sting, who do you think would win?
Flea would definitely dominate.
Yeah,
like
that
Sting,
is my vote as well.
Yeah, like both of them have a lot of cardio, I think, going.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I don't think either of them is a hard hitter at all. Like, I think the thing Flea has going for him is he's like a little crazier. I mean, Sting is actually crazier, but like, I feel like Flea would actually know how to fight, and Sting would like just shit himself and try to do the fucking Ted Nugent to get out of a fight.
Doing the Ted Nugent.
Doing the Ted Nugent and shit your pants to get out of the draft for Vietnam.
Yeah. What about doing the Ted Nugent and like going after underage girls?
That's also the Ted Nugent. There's a lot of bad things that are doing the Ted Nugent.
Oh, what about
appearing weekly on fucking InfoWars, talking about guns and shit to Alex Jones?
I remember
Ted Nugent.
I've probably told this story a lot of times, but I remember seeing him play in Anchorage, Alaska at the not Anchorage, sorry, this would have been Palmer, Alaska, at the Alaska State Fair in I don't know, 2005, 2006 maybe. And he said the N-word on stage and everybody cheered. It wasn't cool.
Likes that kind of thing.
And
and there was I bet there was like maybe at best 2 black people at that show, and they were like working. They had no choice but to be
I don't know. I just remember I was there with some members of our old band, and I just remember being like looking at them and being like, ugh, and that we were all like, ugh. It was sick. Very uncomfortable.
We love
even
that.
at the time, and it was a different time. Oh my God, we listened to 3 Pikes. We did.
Is it time to take a journey?
I think it is.
Yeah. Where are we taking a journey to, Spenser?
Into the Bucket Void.
Statements from the Bucket Void.
Bucket Void. Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Okay.
We're here.
Okay.
There we go.
You can see my screen?
I can see your phone, yeah.
Okay, perfect. All right, let's kick things off. This is a part of the show where we talk about YouTube comments, because whatever, we got nothing better to do. YouTube user Sick for Senses says 4 years ago, Jesus Christ, I haven't paid any attention to Buckethead in 3 years, and he's come out with over 200 albums since? Why?
Jesus Christ, Buckethead!
Aren't you supposed to not be releasing 300 albums? Nah.
I mean, I can't imagine what it would have... I can't imagine what it must have been like for like a Buckethead fan who hadn't, checked in on him for a while, since like, if they hadn't like followed him since, like 2012 or something like that. If they just like checked back on him like 4 years later, they would have been like, what?
Yeah, for real. Real. Speaking of real, Jonah the Bard says 4 years ago, the BBC have published a gushing interview of Ariana Grande describing her as prolific for managing 5 albums in 6 years. So she's only 250 behind. Yeah,
I bet that BBC do be having Ariana Grande gushing.
Yeah, that's true. Well, somebody responded to that comment, and that was YouTube user Bubblehead, who said 2 years ago, I never heard a person refer to garbage as prolific.
Why hate on Ariana Grande? Like she's
I literally don't know who that is.
I mean, did you watch Don't Look Up? Recently?
No, I don't know what that is.
No, it was a pretty big film last year. No, she's a pop singer, and I don't like any of her music. It's all like EDM type.
I've probably heard it then quite a bit.
Oh, you've definitely. She's huge, but I mean, she's undeniably talented. Like, girl has like probably a 4 or 5 octave vocal range. She's got like she can like keep up with like Mariah Carey type voice. Like it's crazy.
Well, Bubblehead says she's garbage, Brit. So your argument's
You're
invalid.
right. He's right, and it got 6 likes.
Yeah,
so,
it got 6
which
likes.
Is more likes than I got.
More likes than you get, Brit.
Yeah.
So
I'm wrong.
Yeah,
I'm wrong.
We're all wrong.
I'm sorry. Continue.
YouTube user Hollis Williams says 1 year ago edited, and this was not a response to anyone. This was completely unprompted. And Hollis Williams says, he is actually more productive than Mozart. Although Mozart unfortunately died very young, Mozart has 500 separate pieces, as it were. If you break each Buckethead album into several different pieces, he has way more than that. Okay.
Are we really going to do Buckethead versus Amadeus here? Like,
I mean, that could be cool.
I'd
like epic.
That's an exercise in futility. Oh my god, I would not.
Epic music battles of history.
I was gonna say, how would Buckethead rap? He'd be like,
and then, how would Mozart rap too? He'd be like,
yeah, he's been dead for 500 years.
Ain't that the truth? Chris Williams says 4 years ago, that moment when your head is a rocket and music becomes rocket fuel and takes your head into space, out of this world.
I too have taken salvia, Chris Williams.
Yeah, you have. Man, I remember watching you do salvia once on your parents' porch, and then Scott had to like drag you back inside because you like fell over and like wouldn't get back up.
Yeah, that was cool.
It was pretty cool.
It was he actually had to tackle me because I was trying to run through the glass door.
Oh, right. Yeah, as you do. Salvia, a great time. We love to hear it.
I was trying to run through the glass door because I took a big hit of salvia my first time, and like I looked out into the night sky and like I thought I saw a zipper that was like coming towards me, and the zipper was going to zip up my head because my head was just a notch in the great zipper of the universe.
Yes. Yeah.
And so I'm like, oh my god, the world is ending. I need to run away from this. And so I tried to run through the sliding glass door at my house, and thankfully Scott was there.
Yeah.
And he like immediately tackled me. He's like, no, don't run through that glass door. Thanks, Scott.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
Past guest Scott.
Good friend right there.
Thank you, Scott, for saving Brit. I was like in your house, like talking to your dad or something about like speaker cables or some shit. Yeah, I don't know. It was a time. Today's Tom Sawyer says 4 years ago, another day in the chicken barn of modern slavery, delivering my human resources to the wealthy, waiting to be released. Thank you, Bucky. You make it a lot easier to endure. You are a real free bird, uncaged. This last track is amazingly chaotic. That's freedom of mind.
What?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. That's pretty wild.
I mean, okay. I kind of like his like, wage slavery comparison to a chicken farm there.
Yeah, totally.
That's kind of fun.
It's kind of fun.
Today's Tom Sawyer, he gets high on you. Today's Tom Sawyer, he comments on YouTube.
Well, so his name isn't actually Today's Tom Sawyer. His name is Tom Sawyer, but I prefer Today's Tom Sawyer.
He also has the fucking Rush 2112 thing on there.
Yeah, he totally does.
It's like, it's obviously an homage to Rush. Come on.
It is definitely an homage to Rush.
Come on.
Caleb Christ says 4 years ago, this pike makes me want some slaw. Me too. Me too, bud. We all want some slaw.
Yeah. Yeah, I want some slaw enforcement to be held accountable. You know what I'm saying? Fuck the cops.
Yeah, I completely agree. So now it's time for our favorite YouTube commenter, my friend. Let's do it.
Master of the ship key, a bucket bot divine. Commenter extraordinaire, it's time for Jordan Vine.
Jordan Vine says 2 years ago, phenomenal and incredible. Now, I don't give a fuck if Buckethead is not the fastest guitarist ever. I seriously don't give a fuck about that. But I do think and believe that he's the fucking best guitarist to ever exist. Just look at all the albums he's done or been involved with. That's convincing enough, ain't it?
He has a weird, like, quantity over quality argument here.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
It's like, I wouldn't say Merzbow is the greatest electronic artist ever, but he definitely has made the most electronic music ever.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Okay, this one's pretty good. Jordan Vine says 4 years ago. This is like on the same thread too. Like, so this one was from 2 years ago. So like that's pretty recent. That's like 2020.
Wait, is that a different? He has a different profile?
Yeah, he has 2 profiles.
Holy shit!
Yeah, you haven't noticed that?
What?
Yeah.
I wonder if they're the same person.
It's it's definitely the same person.
That'd be amazing if one of them was like the original commenter and then the other one is like a parody account of Jordan Vine.
Pretty fucking amazing.
You know what? We should become the third Jordan Vine, Spenser.
Oh, I like that.
Because he's not commenting on new ones. Let's become the third Jordan Vine.
Yeah, I like that idea. That's nice. Okay, speaking of the third Jordan Vine, he says 4 years ago, Buckethead can release music when he wants, make music how he wants, and play the guitar how he wants. We don't have the right to tell him how to do those things. His music is phenomenal, and that's the end of my point.
I love how he doesn't know how to use a period, so he just writes, end of my point.
Yes. Yes. Okay. We have a lot of Jordan Vine.
How many of these do you have?
We're just gonna do one more Jordan Vine. Then we're gonna do 2 more comments, and we'll wrap this up. Jordan Vine says 4 years ago, I'm being completely honest about this. Buckethead has more talent than any other band or artist in the music industry. Anyone else agree with me on this? And then 97 upvotes. 97 likes.
Shit. I mean, he has a lot of talent, to be sure, but like, I don't know. He has a different type of talent than a lot of people have in the music industry. Like, I would definitely argue that there are composers out there who are more talented than him in a lot of ways, like a Hans Zimmer or something, like a guy who's not only an electronic music pioneer, but can also like write scores for like entire orchestras.
I don't know if I would call the Buggles video killed the radio star like electronic music pioneering, but okay.
I mean, it was incredibly pioneering for fucking like music videos and shit, dude.
I mean, it's a great song. I'm not hating. It's the best thing Hans Zimmer ever did, in my opinion. But
it was the first video ever played on MTV.
Oh, right? Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
it's good stuff.
Incredibly iconic.
Definitely. And that's all we got for Jordan Vine today.
Jordan
All right, we got a couple more, and then we're going to wrap this up. Walter says 1 year ago, I love it when he just lets go and rips like that. Fucking insane. I quit smoking weed, and I fucking miss it. Rock on and keep rocking, my friends. And then he responds to himself 1 year ago and says, hey, Buckethead, what's up, man?
Walter fucking rules, dude.
Walter,
like, I want to
fucking rocks.
I want to get Walter high. I hope he smokes weed again.
Yeah, I hope he smokes weed again too. And lastly,
hit us up, Walter.
But certainly not least, this is a very excellent comment. Mari Toronto says 4 years ago, this album went back in time, manifested as an airplane, and fucked up WTC Twin Towers. I knew the conspiracy theory was full of shit.
That's amazing. I don't even know.
I know.
I don't even know.
Good.
I just
good.
love it.
Statements from the Bucket Boy.
Well, well, well.
Howdy, howdy, howdy. Here we are. It's time to recommend a thing for the week.
Yeah, it is. It's time to recommend a thing. I'll go first because I just did a thing. And
cool.
Okay, sorry. Getting error messages on Zoom. I gotta say, I really recommend, if anybody has the ability to do it, go see the Redwoods. The Redwoods are amazing. I went and saw the Redwoods, and I have never seen trees that fucking big. Those trees are so goddamn big, Brit. Like,
they're very big trees,
are huge. Like, it is like
some of the oldest living beings in the world.
Yeah. I peed on one. It was 2,400 years old.
That's not very nice. That's not very nice. You don't pee on an old man.
I would pee on an old man. But yeah, go see the Redwoods. They're fucking tight. They're awesome. I don't know. It's worth the trip. Britt, what you got?
I would highly recommend something Star Trek related, because we don't have a recommendation on our other Star Trek podcast, but I'll probably recommend it on there as well, because this blew my fucking mind. So YouTuber Jessie Gender, who does like gender sociological class kind of leftist like analysis of stuff, mostly nerdy stuff, recently did a video called Star Trek The Next Generation, a sexual retrospective that is 5.5 hours long.
Holy fuck.
And it's incredible. It is engaging for a full 5.5 hours.
Did you watch all in one sitting?
It is. No, I watched it in a couple sittings because I had to go do stuff in the fucking hot tub overflowed and shit. But like, it rocked me. It was like everything I love about Star Trek and like analyzing things, and because you put analysis on things, and sometimes you figure out things are there that you didn't know, and sometimes you just like to like place false meaning on things for some fun. And it's a lot of that, but like there's some incredible shit in there. Like they do this part where they're like, even if Riker isn't like the one about to fuck, if someone is talking about any sort of sexual exploit and Riker is there, it always like pans to a shot of him or just gives a brief shot of him like giving an expression. And they put together like this 10-minute long cut of just that, and it's amazing.
That's pretty good.
Like I laughed through like the entire thing.
I like that.
Like it is really fantastic. I would so highly recommend it. I'm probably gonna watch a lot of their other stuff because they've done a lot of analysis on a lot of stuff, and I just really, it is worth 5.5 hours of your time.
That rocks.
If you're into Star Trek.
All right, I'll give that a look.
It was fucking great. Yeah, hell yeah.
Speaking of hell yeah, is it time for my favorite part of the show?
I think it. I guess it has to be.
Ha 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 bucket joke. Ha 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 bucket joke. Ha 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 bucket joke. Ha 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 bucket joke.
The wacky Indian bakery next door to me closed down, which really sucks. No more nonsense.
Wait. What?
Like the scent of naan, because it's an Indian bakery.
Okay, I got it.
Naan bread. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
In AA, when you relapse, they call it falling off the wagon, which never really made any sense to me. Like it's a 12-step program, not a wagon program. They should call it falling down the steps.
Yeah, they should.
Do you think they named the steak sauce A1 so it would be listed first in the phone book?
Yeah, they definitely did. Oh man, that's the sequel to, that's what A3 is about. It's just like 3 bottles of A1.
Oh yeah. It's the third bottle. It's the third iteration of the steak sauce.
They went with the first one because they were like, oh, we nailed it first try. So
yeah,
moving on.
So I lost 20 pounds recently. It's a lot easier when you're gambling with British currency.
Only 20 pounds, huh?
Yeah. When you're Thing from the Addams Family, all sex is a hand job.
I mean, yeah, I can't argue there.
Speaking of the Thing, do you think, Thing, I guess his name is, their name is, sorry.
Yeah. You can't gender a hand.
Do you think Thing in the Hamburger Helper oven mitt are the respective male and female of their species?
Yes, I do.
Cool. Horn player and sex worker are the only two jobs where you blew it is actually an affirmation.
It's true.
Yeah. I have flat feet, as you probably know, so I have to get orthotics for them. But the doctor that makes them is the biggest asshole I've met in my entire fucking life. I'd say he's my arch nemesis.
Hate that.
Yeah, I hated it when I wrote it. So do you know what Danzig is short for?
No.
Yeah, me neither. He's a tiny dude, though, isn't he?
That's true.
Yeah. All right. And I'll actually, I won't end on this. I'll end my jokes on this. But I went to a seminar on tantric sex, but my instructor wasn't there. But he did come after a few hours.
Nice.
And so last week we did a thing where I went through the internet and found some of the worst one-liners I could possibly find.
I'm so ready for this.
And I had a lot of fun with that. So I did that again, and I have got like 10 or 11 of them here. So
right.
Are we ready?
I'm so ready.
Here's bad one-liners that I did not write. I wish I did. Here we go. The next time I glance at a woman's chest and she says, "I'm up here," I'm going to reply, "I'm down here," and point to my crotch.
What? Wait, so, okay, there's a lot to unpack there. Firstly, we're like implying that the person who wrote this joke has been told that like a lot of times, which is like, bro, either you're like a teenager or you're just being a creep.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the punchline to this joke is, "I'm going to sexually harass some women," which is like,
well,
what?
It's pretty funny.
which is why nobody liked it.
It's very TBS.
Here's another one. If penises were like vaginas, there wouldn't be any more children.
Wait, what? Wait. I don't understand the joke.
That's the joke. If penises were like vaginas, there wouldn't be any more children.
I mean, okay. Yeah. All right.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Wrong. Not entirely wrong.
All right, here's another. If Ella Fitzgerald married Darth Vader, she'd be Elevator.
That's pretty good.
No, it's not. Here's one.
You're right, it's not.
People named Sean must like talking about large bodies of water during sex.
What?
That's how the joke was written, and the comment section of this was hilarious because people are like, "Are you trying to like say like ocean? Because like it's pronounced Sean, like Sean." And the guy's like, "I've seen bigger stretches in here," and everyone downvoted him.
that makes it
everyone
funnier,
hated
actually.
this
Like that
joke.
context really
right. Yeah.
the joke.
Yeah. All right, here's one. There was a boy who always cried wolf until one day he got a sore throat.
Yeah,
that's the joke.
Pretty good joke, dude.
I know. Yeah, it's pretty good. Here's another one. Like, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do this. This joke is so absurd that I find it like hilarious. All right. My dog brought me a cappuccino this morning, but I'm sure I was dreaming because of his non-Italian accent.
Wait.
I don't know. I don't get it. My dog brought me a cappuccino this morning, but I'm sure I was dreaming because of his non-Italian accent.
Right. Okay.
All right. Here's one. Here's one that definitely belongs in 2022 when it was written.
Uh-huh.
This was written like a month ago.
Okay.
If Chuck Norris became a woman, his clit would actually be a fist that would punch your dick so hard it would become a vagina that Chuck Norris's clit dick would then fist furiously.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
That's the joke, Spenser. That's a one-liner.
Yeah, that's a one-liner for sure. It's a great joke.
Yep. Do strippers have to take the Hippocratic Oath?
Okay, it's okay.
I like how shitty that joke is. Like, I'm like, how does this have like no upvotes?
Yeah.
Like, I might upvote this. I might. It should have at least like 4 upvotes.
I like how shitty it is because like you can tell a joke like that, and if you tell it within like a shitty dirtbag kind of way, like you could make people laugh with that joke, like for sure. It's dumb enough,
Yeah. Or you could that's at least like a decent punchline. Like, actually, I'm gonna use that on my brother's girlfriend because she just became like a breast surgeon. She just finished her residency, and I'm gonna be like, "Oh, did they make you take the Hippocratic Oath?" And she'll be like, I can't be part of this family."
That's perfect. Yeah, that's like the best opportunity to use that joke that I've ever heard. Though.
Yeah,
like,
right.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah, 100%. Yeah. All right, I've got 3 more.
Oh my God.
Ready?
Okay, yeah, let's do it.
Number 3. I always randomly say that I like to drink motor oil, but I've tried it before and it tastes incredibly viscous.
What? Wait. What?
I don't understand the setup or the punchline. I always randomly say that I like to drink motor oil. Why? Why do you do that? That doesn't make any sense. That's the setup. But he randomly says it. But I've tried it before, and it tastes incredibly viscous.
Viscous isn't a flavor.
Something can't taste
like.
Yeah, it's a texture.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Weird. Yeah, that's very strange.
All right, here's the second to last one. America has a lot of holes that need to be fixed, and we're going to, darn it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's like darn it, like darning a sock, but no one has darned a piece of clothing in the past like century. Like no one has darned clothing in the 21st century anywhere ever.
Yeah, okay.
People don't do that. They just buy new clothing now.
Yeah, that's probably true.
All right, here we go. Here's the last joke. Are we calling these jokes? I mean,
we could call them yokes.
Yeah, we're having a
like a soft J.
We're perhaps okay. They're funny laugh times. So here's the joke. What do you call my dead mom?
I don't know.
A missed call.
Ha 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 ha! Bucket joke.
Holy shit! I don't even know what to make of that. That was really something.
I don't either.
Wow.
That was a joke. Apparently,
that was the joke.
Yeah. But I think that has been pretty much the whole show. Hey, Spenser, where can we find you? Besides a hotel in sunny California.
Spenser.zone. What about you?
Sick. You can find me at Dog Warbus most places, but you know what? Just go to @Bucketcast on pretty much any social and talk to me there. I will tell you to suck your own dick and teach you how.
That's cool. Glad that you're spreading that knowledge out there. That's what the people want.
As long as they spread their legs, I'll spread the knowledge. You know what I'm saying? And every disease contained in my semen.
Weird, but cool.
That's just how nature works, baby.
This has been Brit. Wait, I don't remember who starts this.
It doesn't matter.
I've been Spenser.
And I've been Britain.
You've been listening to Gettin' Head, a Bucketcast.
Stay greasy, Bucketheads.
Namaste.
Due to your Google flacency, I'm going to have to whittle the friggin' smackendackle back into the healthier spuckin' muckin'. Whoops.
Oh, you thought that was the end. You haven't listened for the past 20 episodes or something. Because guess what time it is?
You can't try to get laid or watch people. You gotta go out and get that job. What a waste of pleasure. What a waste of pleasure. What a waste of pleasure.
Oh, God.
Oh, boy. Here we are in the Ralph zone.
This is it's the most dense part of the show. If you really don't know what this is, then good luck figuring it out.
Indeed.
Because I'm not going to explain it again. Well, okay, I will. Bam Margera wrote and directed a film called Ming Hags in 2009, and we rewrite our favorite scene in the film every week, twice.
Yep, we do. It's we just take any conflict we can find in history, and rewrite the scene based on that conflict. So we got two real fun ones this week.
Yeah, I think yours is better than mine. So let's do mine first.
Fair enough. All right, doing a real Geek Squad Ralph treatment here, huh?
Yeah, so this is about Steve Jobs. This is an imaginary conversation between Steve Jobs and Tim Cook.
Yeah, so this is really depressing, man. Jesus Christ. Like, what the fuck, dude?
So,
this is easily our most fucked up Ralph battle, I gotta say.
I know. So, if you don't know, Steve Jobs got pancreatic cancer in 2003, and instead,
in part because he only ate fruit.
No. Well, so no, that wasn't. No, that was after. So what happened?
Okay. So that's why he died, is because he only ate fruit.
Well, sort of. We're getting to that. So he was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer, and instead of seeking treatment, he was diagnosed with the only form of pancreatic cancer that is like operable, that you can like maybe survive from if you get surgery. But instead
they got it in like the second, like they got it at stage 2. They got it super early.
Yeah. So the thing
could have been cured.
Thing was like if he had gotten surgery, it might have saved his life, maybe. But instead, he waited 9 months and tried a bunch of like random shit, like eating nothing but fruit and like.
Which is terrible.
Going
terrible
to a psychic
for you if you have
and like doing a bunch of weird stuff. And so anyway,
and like only eating fruit is terrible for you if you have pancreatic cancer, because it just supercharges your insulin, which overworks your fucking pancreas. Like,
yeah, so
he did literally the dumbest thing you could possibly do with the disease.
Yeah. So, anyways, at one point, Tim Cook tried to give Steve Jobs part of his liver, and Steve Jobs was like got pissed and was like, "Fuck you, no." And so that's what I wrote this about.
Wow. He's like, "No, I don't eat liver. I only eat fruit."
Yeah.
Okay. So do you want to be Steve Jobs or Tim Cook?
I don't
know
how
Steve either of them sound.
Yes.
All right. So Tim Cook's the first guy. Right?
Yeah. Correct.
How does Tim Apple sound?
Like this. He talks like this.
What?
I can actually do.
I'm Tim Apple.
I can actually do a pretty good Tim Cook. Yeah. Okay. I'll do. No, you're doing.
You
okay.
I'll be fine being.
Yeah. No, that sounds good.
All right. You ready?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, Steve Jobs. Aren't you supposed to get your pancreatic tumor surgically removed?
I've got a bowel cleanse at 4.
You can't get no bowel cleanse. You gotta get real treatment.
Nah, I'm gonna go see a psychic tonight.
Steve, I'm getting tired of it. You're gonna go see an actual doctor today. T-O-T-A-Y.
This is muffed up. I'm not taking the day off.
Back at Apple, we would literally die for legends like you. I'd like to give you part of my liver, stupid.
I wouldn't accept the side of a barn.
If we were at the office, I'd make the board give you a medical leave of absence.
Well, this isn't the office. My work ethic will literally kill me.
I can't believe you chose this, of all times, to put that U2 album on everybody's phones!
Is there a more appropriate time for you two?
What a waste of customer trust.
My name is Steve.
Your legacy makes a good target, Steven. By the end of the day, you better seek proper treatment or else. Do you see this? This pancreas? You're gonna hurt yourself.
Meow.
Take my liver!
that was a good read. Nice. Oh,
all right,
man, I'm really
next,
excited for yours.
Yeah, next one is one I've kind of had like in the back of my head for a while because it's one of my favorite rock and roll conflict stories because it's fucking outlandish.
Yeah.
Basically,
it's amazing.
Just after Wes Borland left Limp Bizkit, they were trying out new guitarists, and they asked Eddie Van Halen, of all people, to come jam with them. And he did, and he brought his equipment, but then he, like, left and then tried to get a hold of Fred Durst, but he was busy, and so he, like, accused Fred Durst of trying to steal his equipment and held a gun to his head.
Mm-hmm. Well, no, like
and told him to give.
So the actual story is like Eddie Van Halen like drove to Fred Durst's house, like drove onto his lawn, like got out of his Jeep shirtless, and then put a gun in his face and was like, "Give me my fucking gear, motherfucker."
Yeah, but yeah, because it was like, you know, he had Fred Durst, like this was kind of like, you know, when he was still a celebrity, so he was like busy doing shit. And Eddie Van Halen thought he was trying to steal his equipment as though he couldn't afford all of Eddie Van Halen's equipment at that time. This is ridiculous.
Yeah.
I will let you choose who you want to be.
I will be Eddie Van Halen.
All right. I'll be Fred Durst, baby.
There we go. That's what I wanted to hear.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
Jesus fucking Christ, Fred Durst. Aren't you supposed to give me my fucking equipment back today, you fucking piece of shit?
Whoa! Hey, Eddie Van Halen. Yeah, you can come over at 4, baby.
You can come over now, Fred. You gotta give me that equipment.
Chill on the meth, dude. I was gonna try to break something tonight.
Fred, I'm getting tired of it. You're gonna give me back my fucking equipment today. Today.
Yo, this is muffed up, man. It's like 3 in the morning.
Back in the 80s, I'd kill hip-hop rappers like you. I'd like to shoot you, stupid.
Whoa, dude, put the gun away. You don't want to shoot the head of a Fred, baby.
If we were at Panama, I'd erupt all over you.
But we're not in Panama. We're at my house, and there's no way you'd shoot me.
I can't believe I even tried to make music with you.
That was music?
What a waste of riffs.
My way or the highway.
Your forehead makes a good target. Give me back my equipment now, or you see this? It's gonna hurt. Give me my fucking gear! That's great.
Yeah. Thankfully, he didn't shoot Fred Durst, and thankfully he's dead now, because Van Halen was a real piece of shit.
Yeah, killed by Fred Durst, ironically.
Yeah. First things first.
Yeah.
The Van Halen killer, Fred Durst.
Nice.
He hung him off the Matthews Bridge.
Iconic, truly.